All right, what is going on? We are live. I have that weird thing on my forehead again. So I can't get it right. Sometimes I'm too exposed. Sometimes I'm not exposed enough. But it's all good, right? It's all good. You're not here to look at me. You're here to listen to me. So a lot of people in here already. Amina is in here. Motion is back. Motion, welcome. Sunshine, K Mega. What is going? Iwana from Poland. What's going on? What's going on? So we have Canada in the house. We have Hungary in the house. We have Brazil's in the house. Poland is in the house. Welcome, 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 Mary. Welcome. So we just had a live chat with some members. That was super fun. If you would like to get in on that chat, there's a join button down there. I have to leave in about a half hour to take my son somewhere. But I thought if we could squeeze in a half hour of questions, that might help you out with your, Iran is in the house, of course. Might help you out with some of your English learning for today. So if you're new here, the way this works is just you simply ask a question in the chat and I answer it as best I can, So I can't answer every question, but hopefully I can answer most. If I missed your question, ask it again. No worries. Probably will be fewer people in here this morning since it's a little bit different time. I don't usually go this early. So it looks like Eugene has a question. He starts off, here's my question. Yes, it's a question. Here's my question. Brent, in our 2 week ago conversation, you said that Americans can understand other accents. Yes, Eugene and I, we had a video chat. Ibrahim was in on that video chat a couple weeks ago. But what about the Scottish one? Yeah, he heard that very few non-Scottish people can understand it. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. It's kind of a bigger word, but wholeheartedly, I'm all in. I totally agree with that. And in the Facebook page, I think there's a link in the description. Man, I got it wrong yesterday. Was it Mary? Somebody posted a person speaking with a thick, sometimes when the accent is really heavy or thick, we'll use thick, a thick accent. I would say Scottish is the most difficult by far. The Irish one can be difficult, but and Ibrahim, again, I had shared a podcast with him, a language learning podcast. And there was a man who was teaching English in Russia. And he had to change his accent to become more understandable, to be better understood. And I think I talked about that yesterday in the chat. So, yeah, I totally agree with that. Good question. And Adriana was in the video stream a minute ago, and I learned something new, that Polish doesn't really have an accent. And I know from studying Italian that Italian does. 60 million people. And it is possible that if you live in the northern part of Italy, you might have difficulty understanding somebody in the southern part of Italy. Yes, and Sunshine says that she is in the Facebook group as well. Okay, Rod is wondering, what is the difference between ache, pain, sorrow? Okay, so two of them are very similar, aches and pains. And we will often use that together. Like, oh man, I have a lot of aches and pains today. So pain is just general hurt. Like my body is in pain from the top to the bottom. An ache is often, oh, my elbow is really aching today. My elbow is really aching. I have a pain in my elbow. So those are really very similar. But sorrow is always sadness. Okay, sorrow is sadness. Sorrow. So you might hear somebody say, oh, she's been going through a lot of pain and sorrow. So pain can be mental or pain can be physical. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Good question. Michelle is wondering, what does get lumped in with mean? Get lumped in. That just means that in my classroom, let's say there are a group of bad boys, right, in the classroom. But then there's a good boy sitting over here. You don't want him to get lumped in with the bad boys. If the bad boys are being punished, you don't want to lump in the good boy. So lumping in means to include, but for the wrong reason. To include, but it's never a good thing. You don't want to get lumped in with the wrong crowd. To include in a bad way. Get lumped in. All right, I hope that helps. Get lumped in, it's a bad thing. You're getting drawn, sometimes you say drawn in too. Drawn into a situation. Let's say, I always use this, right? There are two friends fighting, and you're just off to the side, and they're fighting, and they turn to you. What do you think? Well, don't lump me in with that. I don't want to be a part of it. Don't lump me in. Lump. That's a weird word, isn't it? Lump. All right, but a great question, Michelle. Sharef is here. Just saw Sharef. Naima in the chat. Nicely done. Aniko. I think I've said hi to everyone already so far. But I can say hi again, right? Hello again. Very nice to see you. Gleb. Oh dear. Gleb. I know I have answered this before, probably a month ago, but genre is how you say that. Genre. It's French. It's definitely French. And I've mentioned this story before. Genre is another way to say type of music, type of book. Like, oh, what's the genre of that book? It's a classic. What's the genre of music that you like? I like rock. So, but I had a teacher in 7th grade, and she always pronounced it wrong. But it's genre. Genre. And what was the other one? That's a tough one right there. Is it psych? It's not psychiatrist. Psychics? How do we say that? I don't know how to say that word. Psychic. It's not psychic. But I can tell you that the beginning word, it usually has something to do with the mind. So a psychiatrist, which is not that word, a psychic. So a psychiatrist is a doctor that you might go to if you're feeling depressed. A psychic is someone who might be able to tell the future, if you believe in that. But that I don't know that word. I don't know. Psychist. Sorry, I'm gonna move on from that. I don't know. It's spelled correctly. Psychist. I need to move on. Sorry, half of it I was able to answer. The next one. Sunshine. What are you up to? What does that mean? It's a greeting. We can use that It's another way to say, like, what are you doing? In a good way, though. What are you doing? So it's just a greeting, but it means kind of like, what are you doing now? Oh, what are you up to? Sometimes you might hear, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? So it's just a little bit longer period of time. So maybe you haven't seen somebody for a couple months because of quarantine. You might say, oh, what have you been up to? Longer period of time. What are you up to? It might mean like if you're texting somebody or calling them, it means, what are you doing right now? What have you been up to? Longer period of time. Zobeida is here. Welcome. Oh, Aniko, I feel the same way. I may be doing, so I'm taking my son to the lake today, but I think I'm going to the lake with my daughter and her friend tomorrow, and I would like to do a live stream from the lake, but I probably won't have my computer with me. So I'm using my phone so you can see me, but I'm using my computer to type and see the chat, because if you've ever used the live chat with just your phone, it just disappears so quickly. Well, at least, sorry, for on my end, it does. But you can't highlight somebody's name if you're on the phone. See, I can highlight Aniko's name when I'm on my computer. Whoa. Whoa. Asma, are you trolling me here? What is this? What is this? So Asma has a big word, very big word. I can't say it either, so don't feel bad. I can't even copy and paste it. Here we go. All right, no, I'm not even gonna try to. Okay, Brent. You have you can't guess the meaning at all? I probably can't either. I do know when you see that phobia at the end, phobia, I've made a video on this, I think. It means fear. It means fear. So this is the fear of something. In hippo, it's often a medical term, and you probably will see this in Italian and French, Portuguese, Spanish, and it means like the top. There's a part of your brain, the hippocampus, which is at the top. So hippo is, super also means top too, or above, top or above. So I don't know what that is, but it is some kind of fear, the fear of something, but I don't know. I don't know. Here we go. Genre. Yes. Mary says, oh, you like the term genre. I have to slow down when I'm speaking and think about what kind of genre of music do you like? It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. When something is difficult to say in English, we often say it doesn't roll off the tongue easily. Be nice if I could spell tongue. Okay, I can't spell tongue. Can't spell tongue. Roll off the tongue. Another question here. Another question. Wait, Mary says it was nice to see you on Zoom. How did you were in there, Mary? Were you Galaxy something? It didn't even have a name. It was just I was wondering who that was. Maybe it was Mary. Nico. Yeah, missed that function. I do too. Mary. Good. Oh, Gleb. Thank you. All right, here we go. It's a physicist. 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 So a doctor who specializes in physics, physicist. It didn't look right to me when I saw it. Thank you. So physicist. That's another word that you almost have to, physicist. Yeah. I rarely say that word, thankfully. But students in high school, probably most high schools around the world, they will study physics. But most of them will not be physicists. Think about the plural. If you have two physicists in a room, English is weird. Physicist. Motion. Hello, I am doing well today. Thank you for asking. So could you please tell me the other meanings of draft, but not calling into the army, right? So we do have draft. A fancy word is conscription. Conscription for draft. But motion already knew that. So sometimes when you see this spelling, draft, that's how you say it, draft, that would refer to beer in a bar, and it wouldn't be from a bottle. It would be from a tap. One of those things that you pull, beer comes out. So a beer on draft would be like that. And then sometimes for draft, it's wind. It equals wind. So if you're in a cold room and there is some wind coming through a window or the door, you might say, ooh, there's a draft in here. There's a draft. And then when you're racing, okay, a race, bicycle race, a car race, if you get behind someone and catch their wind, so it makes you faster, you can say drafting. So drafting can be a verb too. You are drafting with that other bicycle. There might be others, but that is the one that I know. Rod is wondering, what's the difference between a doctor and a physician? Nothing. Doctor, physician, same thing. Just physician is a little fancier, but they're the same thing. Zobeida, who has been left out of the Zoom call. I'm sorry, I try to ask different people. We had a rather big room. And I know not everybody get to speak, so I try to make it for definitely members first, and then just people who... I have invited you before, though, have I not, Zobeida? Next time. Tanvo, what is going on? Whoa! Is wondering, have I ever eaten the fruit durian? I have. One time. Be the last time. Oh, and I believe it's very popular in Japan. But whoa, the first time you eat it, well, my only time, it smelled rotten. And I thought, there's no way that this is ripe. I got a bad one. And they're like, nope, that's how it tastes. I literally threw up in my mouth a little bit. We sometimes say that, threw up. And when something, and you don't really have to throw up, but you could I just threw up in my mouth a little. We say that in English sometimes. Oh, if you like durian, I apologize, but. And I bought off Amazon one time, just to fool my friends. I bought some durian candy. Amazon. They shipped it to my house. The package, before I even opened it, I could smell it. Yeah, my friends didn't like it either. Tan, can you write, do you like durian? Oh, there are 8 people in the Zoom? Nice. Whoa. Ali. Have you ever heard about a ship shipping ships? No. You eventually got it? A ship shipping ships. No. I don't know. I've never heard that. Shipping ships. Oh, James, are you serious? This question? This is upper level stuff. Whoa. I don't know the differences between acculturation and assimilation. I don't know acculturation as much, but assimilation is something that has happened in the United States. And I mean, this is kind of upper level, but it's frowned upon. When someone moves from another country to the United States, some people expect them to assimilate, meaning take on the culture of the United States, learn English. But some people do not believe that should happen, that the United States is, sometimes it's called a mixing pot, where different cultures live next to each other. So assimilating sometimes has a bad connotation in the United States. And I believe acculturation is very similar, where you lose the culture of your home country. So I think. We is here. What is going on, we? We is wondering, what's the difference between think and want? Okay. I'm going to just change that question, okay, to need and want. Because thinking is a little bit different. But let's talk about the difference between need and want. So you need food to survive. You may want that tasty piece of pizza, but you don't need it. You could have a simple bowl of cereal. You may need transportation to get to your job. Maybe you can take a bus, but maybe you want a fancy car. You need air to breathe, but you may want nicer things in your life. So need, it's important, it's necessary. Wanting, sometimes we call it a luxury. It's a bonus. All right, I hope that helps. Oh no. I'm sorry, Tan. I'm sorry. Durian. I don't even think it's sold in the United States. The produce department, that's how I say it. Some people say it differently. The produce department in your supermarket or your grocery store, the place that sells fruit, I don't think we can even buy durian. I don't think we can. I don't think we can. Luke is here from Poland. Welcome. Marina, welcome from Ukraine, I believe, right? Ukraine? Okay. Okay. Mary is wondering, what's the term dwell on mean? To dwell on. That means to think about a lot. And dwell on often has a bad connotation, meaning like you shouldn't do it. So let's say you made a mistake and you don't want to dwell on it. If it's a minor mistake, you don't want to dwell on it, meaning You don't want to keep thinking about it. It's not going to do any good to dwell on that. Great question. So most of us, well, at least in the United States, we can't live our normal life. Like school may not start in the fall, and I try not to dwell on that. I try not to think about that too much because it can be rather depressing. So dwell on it. I hope that helps. Hope that helps. Right. All right, so Zabeda is saying that she knows the answer, but she would like a review. Review is so important, so important. All right. Resource, source, side hustle. An apartment that stretches someone. I don't know about that. I don't know about the an apartment that stretches someone. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Okay, so a resource is something that is helpful to you. So a resource to learn English might be this channel. I hope you find this channel as a good resource to help you learn English. Resource helps you. The source is where it comes from. So if there is a rumor going around, someone is spilling the tea, as we've talked about. Someone is talking about rumors. You might say, oh, what's the source of that rumor? It's where it comes from. It's where it started. That's the source. Rivers will have sources, usually up in the mountains somewhere. So where the river starts. Side hustle. It's like what we call a part-time job. So you may be a lawyer. A lawyer. I don't know if she's still here. Somebody in the chat, Adriana, is a lawyer. That's her main job. But then you might have a side hustle. Maybe you wait tables at night to get some bonus money. Side hustle is your part-time job, the extra thing you do, usually for money, but not always. Maybe you're a painter, and that's a hobby. You could call that your side hustle. And so Beta, I think an apartment that stretches someone would probably be an apartment that is a little too expensive. Maybe they're paying a lot of rent and they can't buy fancy food or they can't afford a car. It might be stretching their budget. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Ooh, I'm sorry. I have to go. My son has to be somewhere in about 15 minutes, and it takes about 15 minutes to get there. So this was a little bit shorter today, a half an hour. And as Jamie said, some great questions. Ivan from Russia. I don't know why New York is called the Big Apple. I don't know. And they don't even grow apples there. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. But you guys are awesome. Oh, Adriana is in here. Thank you guys so much. I know I didn't answer every question, but I gotta go. Maybe I can do another midweek chat. Maybe one from the lake tomorrow. They have Wi-Fi up there though. So maybe I can bring my computer and do another mini live stream. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for your support. This group is awesome every single time. Love it, love it. We don't have any spammers yet. Good. I hope we don't. Thank you guys. Adios, amigos.